Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, be sure to hit leave us a rating, review, or a comment.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
And smash that like button.
Yeah, let's try to get the likes up to 601.
Oh, one more than AEW's goal, huh?
Sure, why not? I mean, I'm not going to do the same thing. Or fine, 600, whatever.
600.
Yeah, smash that like button, man. It actually goes a long way towards helping Going In Raw. And be sure to hit that subscribe button, notify bell, and then click on all, and then you might get some notifications.
Maybe. Kind of roll the dice, to be honest about it.
Seemingly, yeah. Whoops. Let me see if there are any new patrons. We got some new patrons over the weekend. I don't know if I remember. I don't remember giving anybody a shout out. Well, we got one new one, Xavier Gray.
Thank you,
What
Xavier.
a great name. It's like an X-Men name.
Uh-huh.
Xavier.
There's Professor X and
Charles Xavier.
Jean Grey mashed up.
There's a war coming, Charles. Anyways, do we have any announcements to make? We've got the Teespring store if you want some Friendo Club hoodie. And I just put up like a sort of a retro 10 for the win shirt up there.
Yeah.
I got the design for the new 10 for the second retro 10 for the win shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The one that we did like, what, 2012, 2013?
2013.
The
probably.
Orb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I've not shown you. I just finished it last night. So that's at teespring.com/stores/Friendo Merch Club. The link is in the description here.
Friendo Market, we got all the stuff there.
FriendoMarket.com. Yeah, we still have plenty of those Friendo Club shirt sticker
We
packs.
got to do a blowout of backstock here coming up soon.
Yeah, we'll do like a discount code thing, sure. Yeah, maybe we'll do that for Revolution.
Sounds good.
Super Show. Maybe we'll do a Super Showdown Revolution Week, something like that.
There you go. Yeah, that next week, man, those 3 days in a row. You got Super Showdown,
Boom.
SmackDown, Return of John Cena, and then Revolution. Bang, bang,
yes,
bang.
Bang, 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 indeed. Banger show for SmackDown being announced. The Bella Twins are going to be.
They'll probably say, hey, we're going to be in Hall of Fame.
We're in Hall of Fame, plus we have babies.
And then what's the 8-man tag match?
Usos. New Day and Usos versus Rude, Ziggler, and
Miz and Morrison.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It might actually be a fun match, to be honest.
Oh, the match quality would be good. It's
Probably
just like the storylines are probably not going to be that great.
Yeah.
Not that involved. Interesting.
Yeah, it's SmackDown, but it's cool because I'm off my I'm no longer a teetotaler.
Good.
This week, so I can drink. I drank the other day in Santa Cruz.
How was that, by the way?
Thanks for holding it down.
Oh, no problem.
It was fun. Oh, we had a blast. It was
Good.
great. It was awesome. Yeah. I drank. So
good.
That was cool.
It sounds like a good time then.
The concert was fun. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. It was good stuff.
Was it just Ani DeFranco who performed? Or was there opening act?
No, she had an opener. It was I forget her name.
All right.
Rebecca Hoop, something like that.
All right.
Something like that. Folk singer, obviously.
Yeah.
But Ani DeFranco is lovely. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Very charming, immensely talented. I didn't know any of the songs, but it was cool. It was really neat, and we were as close to her as we were in the pit. The radio had that time.
I saw the video. Lacey
It was
put
super
on Instagram.
close.
Yeah,
we were super close.
That's cool.
So no, it was fun. It was cool. I had a good time.
We got floor tickets for Tom York's show here in town.
I know. I'm excited about that.
April 16th.
Are we gonna get there like super early so we can be like front right there?
I know it's a Thursday, so that's usually our busy day.
Does he have a new record coming out?
Yeah, a few months back he had Amina.
Okay, I saw the video for that.
Mm-hmm.
Was there more? That was
a whole album.
Oh,
yeah.
it was a whole album.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. I don't know. Anyways, I wonder if he's gonna do any of the weird dancing they did in the music video.
Oh, that's how he dances.
Yeah. No, I know, but it was extra weird. It was like the floor. It was like I don't know.
Well, they probably have an elevated floor.
Did you watch that video?
No, the PTA one.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah, it's really weird. Anyways, NXT. You said your quote on NXT was yawn.
I thought it was really middle of the road, man. This is great. The NXT generally sets a very high bar. I just didn't feel like it brought anything super consequential. I mean, a decent cruiserweight title match, but if there's a match between Lio Rush and Jordan Devlin, two of the best, I don't want to see a grinded out type match, which is what that was. story of that one was Jordan Devlin couldn't handle Leo Rush's speed. I get that. So he ground it out. I felt like the main event was lacking some intensity. Like it was sloppy and slow rather than I wanted like 10 minutes of hockey fighting to start because these guys should really want to rip each other apart.
Yeah, I get the story they were trying to get at there. But
I do too, but I feel like
disagree with
there was two approaches. They could have done sloppy and slow, which what it was, or we can't wait to tear each other apart, and like rather than doing any sort of feeling out, like just have them start throwing haymakers at each other.
Yeah. So let's just get into this real quick.
The Ciampa promo?
Yeah, because it's in our thumbnail. The most interesting thing, I guess, development to come out of NXT. I actually don't disagree with you, and I can't put my finger on it necessarily. Like you said, all right. NXT has set itself a really high bar. I think the thing is, you can't. The matches are really good.
But I even felt like this week they were good, but they weren't usual NXT standard good.
I'll say this. The episode felt like a hangover.
It did.
It felt like a hangover.
It felt like most, save for the Broserweights, everybody who had a match at TakeOver, I don't think had a match last night.
Yeah.
They were like, they got the night off. And so we got a lot of enhancement matches and matches. Like, we saw Grizzled Young Veterans take on Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde.
Yeah.
Enhancement match.
Yeah.
Cool seeing Grizzled Young Veterans. And it looks like they're going to be around for a while. All great.
Yeah.
Which is good because the tag team division NXT sorely needs top flight talent, of which they are. Same time, though, I know who's going to win the match. Much like Grizzled Young Veterans, like enhancement matches for them aren't like the most enjoyable thing. Yeah. I like Zach Gibbs's promo, but even that was like really short.
It was really short, yeah.
So I just didn't find a whole lot to get invested in. Yeah, of AEW. I know it's not fair to compare, but regardless, it's counter programming. You got AEW on the other station, like tearing it down, putting on awesome match, almost a pay-per-view quality show. And there's been weeks where NXT has done the same thing. And you're coming off a takeover where a lot of people are saying this could be the best takeover ever. I didn't necessarily agree with that sentiment, but people are welcome to have their opinions. And then it's just kind of a meh show. Didn't feel like it built off any momentum. I'm not saying storylines, momentum.
Yeah, no.
Establish a takeover.
And here's the thing. I'm looking at the notes, and you can actually, your points are being made by what we got instead. So, like, the primary thing coming out of TakeOver, and we'll get to it because it relates to the thumbnail and the title, and it was the biggest thing coming out. It was Gargano turning once again on Ciampa. And so we want to know what is the deal with that. Mm-hmm. And we got that with the Ciampa promo, where he says, I know why Johnny did it. Johnny knows why Johnny did it. And to break it down, there can only be one of us in NXT. And I like what he was alluding to. I like the idea that you can, even if you consider the hug canon, which was on TV, the hug came after we figured, and Johnny could have figured, Ciampa's done. There's a chance we're not going to see him again wrestling. And so the idea between Gargano and Ciampa is no matter what, it's always going to come back around to me versus him. That's always going to be the case.
Yeah, that hug was a huge tactical error on.
I don't think it was because I think that once Ciampa is eliminated as a wrestler, then what does it matter? Then you can do the hug.
Well, I mean, he hasn't necessarily really been eliminated as a wrestler. He's hurt.
At the time, there was some. I mean,
yeah, there was.
Even in kayfabe, all the videos
yeah, I understand
that they did.
Potentially a career-threatening injury. Nonetheless, you run into this situation now where you have that happen. You got to find like some rationale for it after the fact. You just don't have the hug out there, and you don't have to worry about it. Wait till.
No, I don't. That doesn't bug me. I don't think that's a problem. I think that, and even because then even after that, they teamed up against Mustache Mountain.
Yeah.
But you got Gargano down there. You got the title, and you got Ciampa. It's Gargano's natural instinct to this point to be like, no, screw that. I'm going to blast this guy. I don't see that as a problem. I think that they've established enough complexity in their relationship to understand you don't have to have Gargano come out there and say, X, Y, Z to line up the dots for you. There can be some. I think you can put it together. But there just seemed to be, there wasn't a whole lot of fire there. And then if you look at everything else, you got like, okay, Lorcan and Birch aren't going to be the next challengers for the Broserweights. That was a throwaway match.
There's a lot of enhancement stuff.
You're setting up Forgotten Sons and the Grizzled Young Vets.
That's pretty much going to be an enhancement match because Forgotten Sons ain't winning that.
Yeah. This big angle with Chelsea Green and Robert Stonebrand was basically just a vehicle for Bianca Belair to cut a really good promo.
Yeah, it was a great promo.
On Charlotte Flair. So we're going to get that. And then the Velveteen Dream stuff. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what NXT is sort of. Yeah, I don't know.
Save for the
There's really a spark missing.
I kind of feel like save for the Broserweights maybe. It's not all. NXT doesn't really feel lively or fun. Even the crowd last night just seemed kind of meh. It's I don't know. There seems to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if urgency is really it. I don't know. I just feel like they're doing what they're doing, and sometimes when they do that and they're firing all cylinders, it's really good. Like I feel like AEW is out there, maybe not necessarily compete head on with NXT. Although in news brief we'll get to Cody. I don't know where he made these remarks about being at a place in 5 years where they can move to Monday nights.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, but nonetheless, they're driven. They have a sense of urgency. They want to prove themselves. And I don't know if that's necessarily the primary directive in terms of their creative or just their overall philosophy. It's like, hey, we want to not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but they seem to take the idea that they're spurring a revolution in pro wrestling to heart, and that means a lot to them, and they want to make that manifest on their show on a weekly basis. Where I don't really feel like it's the case with NXT. NXT is just kind of doing what NXT does.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be, especially, I wonder if some of it is, especially now. We're coming up to Mania season. What happens after every Mania? There's call-ups.
Yeah. Although it wasn't last year, I don't think. I don't think there was any call-up last year for Mania.
And
if there was, it was like one.
And the thing is, I wonder.
Actually, no, all the calls were before Mania.
Yeah, they did like 6.
Yeah.
Around like January, February. I think the idea is we're coming up to Mania. There's maybe a lot of moving parts, and the episode felt like we're not exactly sure where some of this stuff is going to shake out. And so we're not entirely sure what we're going to do. Like Finn literally in his little video promo said, keep an eye out for what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it says next week you'll see my next move.
Yeah.
All right.
Which might mean they don't know what it is.
It could. You're sitting here talking right now.
Yeah.
You probably shot this 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. So, no, I feel it. I think the episode did feel a bit on the filler side as opposed to, hey, you've got this great momentum from TakeOver. And like you said, a lot of people said it was like one of the best TakeOvers ever. How do you capitalize on that? We get Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic again.
I mean, they always put on good matches, but I want to feel things moving.
Yeah, we want to know who the next North American champion, title contender is going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So, no, I feel that.
And like even the Gargano Ciampa stuff, and maybe this isn't I don't know. I don't read a whole lot of wrestling Twitter, so I don't know what the overall sentiment is. I just kind of feel like it's going backwards. I know it was great, and I know we didn't probably get to this conclusion that they had in mind, and what happened necessarily wasn't satisfying due to the injury. Part of me just feels like this barrel forward.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. If you're going to write one of these guys off to main roster, which
could or could not happen.
Loser leaves NXT. I mean, we can talk about that here for a second. Then I'm fine. Totally. You should do Gargano versus Ciampa if one of those guys is going to go. It's just who the hell is going to go?
Well, it's not going to be Ciampa. He already said that he's not leaving NXT.
Okay, man. Come on. It's a wrestler talking.
I know, but this is like because he's got a bad neck. He can't handle the workload of work. Like his body can't handle wrestling 200 days a year.
It's a wrestler talking.
He said he would quit and become a producer between.
And on top of that, like the main roster, there's one point that Meltzer made this morning on Wrestler Observer Live. Was like the main roster schedule isn't really what it used to be, and you can make allowances for people.
Still more intense work in NXT.
So I mean, I don't know. I like both these guys seem like they should be in NXT like for a while. But doing he alluded to a loser leaves town match.
More or less.
That's what he did. There's room for one of us in NXT.
Well, if you look at it this way, Gargano, his feud with Finn was about who is Mr. NXT. Mm-hmm. Finn wins that, therefore he's Mr. NXT. So whatever pride Johnny could take in being, the flag bearer for NXT, poof, gone. Finn has that now. Mm-hmm. So Johnny, he's got like a bit of an existential crisis, as it is, even before Ciampa positing the idea of loser leaves the promotion match. So maybe just the loss to Finn. All right, look, Johnny's not Mr. NXT more. Oh, in fact, look, he's bad guy now because he hit Ciampa with the belt. I don't know if it's just based on the story beats presented. At least if they're doing a loser leaves, then I would suspect it's going to be Johnny, because I know he was all about NXT for life. Guess what? He lost that match to Finn. He turned on Ciampa. He's the bad guy now.
And I could see that being some motivation as well. It's like, man, not only did I just lose the title of Mr. NXT, but like the guy that has been my sworn enemy, and a frenemy, whatever you want, you can call it whatever you want. But it's like, it's one thing for us to be tagging together for a goof match against Mustache Mountain, which is a fantastic match, by the way.
It was great.
But it's another thing for me to have just lost to Finn and then see this guy get the title. Screw that. And on top of that, everybody's going to say I'm public enemy number one because I just did that. I mean, one thing that you can consider also is that they do nothing with Candice LeRae, and they like to keep married couples together. So maybe they want to ship her to Maine, and Johnny, of course, goes with her. I don't know, man. I mean, Gargano, I could see Gargano being a Heyman guy, but not a Vince guy.
Yeah.
He's not a Pritchard guy, that's for sure. He's going to end up being Shorty G number 2.
Gargano goes to NXT UK.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Oh, God. He just fit in right there perfectly with Ligero and Travis Banks and everybody else.
Joseph Connors.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, we got, 6 weeks or something to build to their inevitable takeover clash.
Yeah.
And this wouldn't even be the first, Gargano had the thing with Andrade where he had another title shot but had to put his NXT career on the line.
Yeah, and he was back.
He lost that
next week.
And 2 weeks later,
Kept
he was
on
back.
showing up, yeah.
So, if he loses, doesn't mean he's gone. So, I heard him say that, and the first thing I thought, they're going to do a loser leaves town thing. Grain of salt. Grain of salt.
Yeah. Well, it's wrestling. Everything's with a grain of salt. So I don't know. I mean, again, you're at Mania season, and yeah, they might not have done a whole lot of call-ups last year. They did them prior, but you're at Mania season. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe
they don't
do
call-ups anymore. It's trade now. Remember.
All right, man. As soon as I see somebody from main roster on NXT, I will give you full validation for that.
Charlotte's moonlighting,
and Shayna still has the NXT lower third, so I don't know. I mean, that's
Angel Garza's still moonlighting. He's not full time. They still refer to him as an NXT star on Raw.
What did his lower third look like, though? It didn't have an NXT on it, though.
I don't remember.
I don't know. That's part of the thing about NXT also is that there is these days a bunch of movement, and so it's hard to it's difficult to. And here's the thing: they cover it by having. I mean, typically week to week, NXT is fantastic. This is one week where they had a soft episode. But just in general, one of the weaknesses of NXT is it's difficult to get too emotionally involved with. There's the core group, which it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you can love the Undisputed Era. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. I say that now. Keith Lee is going to be there for a while. Damian Priest, Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle, they're going to be there for a while, probably. But guys like grizzled young veterans come in. It's like, oh. Are they going to be here for a while? Who can I get emotionally invested in?
Yeah,
that's kind of important.
I made the comparison to a minor league baseball team or any sort of minor league franchise is that it's when it's operating even somewhat as a developmental property, you have to get attached to the brand, not the participants per se. You got to get attached to the team because it's your local team, not so much the players, because those players are probably going to be shipped up to the bigs, be traded, get demoted, wherever the case may be, at a moment's notice. So NXT is kind of the same thing.
No, it's still they can refer to it as a third brand, but when it's a third brand would have more matches than just the one match at WrestleMania. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, one soft episode this week. I don't think it's cause for concern or anything.
No,
but it definitely felt a bit like a hangover.
Kicking things off was the Undisputed Era coming out. Adam Cole was kind of like, "Ha, told you so. Told you I'd show Ciampa I was best champion."
I mean, should he not look around and say, "Seems like this prophecy is falling apart"?
Well, yeah, he definitely should. But instead, he goes, "We're not going anywhere. We're still the measuring stick. We still set the example.
Measuring stick.
Again, there's more gold off you than on you at this point."
Yeah.
And he says, "Let's Roddy here is going to make an example of Velveteen Dream. Roddy grabs the mic. He's about to talk. Dream's music hits. He does like a disembodied promo.
Well, he's got that cool piece of artwork of
The
his
graphic,
face.
yeah, on the Tron, but it's we don't see him. He's just talking.
Yeah.
And he's like, pretty say he's going to beat Roddy, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Roddy says, well, Dream, you're going to wish you never came back after I'm done with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
First match of the night was Leo Rush versus Jordan Devlin. As mentioned earlier, this was all about Leo Rush being really fast and quick, and Jordan Devlin at first literally like not knowing what to do with it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I guess strategically he did what you would do, is take the faster guy, slow him down, and grind it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really what I want from a cruiserweight match.
Yeah. I don't know. That match was fine.
It was fine. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Jordan Devlin still got his stuff in.
Yeah.
But I know Jordan Devlin, while maybe not being as fast as Leo Rush, he could keep up with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I feel like we've seen a lot of really good matches between Angel Garza and Leo Rush because the pace was fast and it wasn't necessarily a grinded out thing. It doesn't say it has to go a million miles an hour the whole time. There can be ebbs and flows. They can slow down and speed up. I don't mind that. I feel like Jordan Devlin has that in him to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not really known for being like the super fast guy, though.
But he's not necessarily known for being a bruiser necessarily either.
No. But, I don't know. I sort of get the idea of this match.
So I get it totally as well. I think cruiserweight action. I think people jumping and running and flying and stuff.
No way, man. Feet on the floor. What does Drew Gulak say?
I think safe and sound.
I think Dean Malenko wrestled a year 1997. That's what I think of when I think cruiserweight action.
Yeah, but he wasn't averse to wrestling a quicker pace.
Yeah, he was really fast with the mat transition stuff.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
But like, I don't see him doing any matrixy stuff like Leo Rush. I don't know. Maybe he was kind of short.
Different era, man.
He could do a lot. Yeah,
he probably could.
1997 was a big year for him.
You mean he was PWI's number one?
Exactly. That's
totally.
That's so weird.
It really was weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, this was a perfectly fine match, though. It wasn't bad.
No, and part of it was the crowd. And again, like, I don't know, they just got to take this They got to take this thing on the road, man. Just take it on the damn road. Like,
man.
If you got people there at Full Sail who's giving Jordan Devlin a thumbs down? I know he's a bad guy, but
He's bad guys. People playing along with the show, dude.
oh man, you gotta.
Did you hear that one person after the Forgotten Sons promo start a USA chant? It was one dude. I think he did it twice. USA, USA.
Yeah,
it was just one guy.
I don't know. I just get the feeling like, I don't know, man. NXT. It's funny because even they don't really have a solid idea as to what NXT is. It's like, are you a third brand or are you developmental? Kind of feel like you can't be both. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And it's funny because like they have like killer episodes every single week. They have one soft episode. I start questioning everything.
Well, here's the thing: they can still be developmental, but forward facing.
Yeah.
They got to be a third brand on par with Raw and SmackDown. They can still do the developmental aspect. That's reserved for the
ways.
Hold on. That's reserved for the Florida house show circuit as a purely developmental aspect. And once they feel someone's, because prior to the move to USA, maybe someone was doing stuff on the house show circuit, and maybe they needed a few more reps. And they're like, okay, just put them on TV and let them get a few more reps in here and develop it, and then we'll send them off TV, do the full repackage, and then they'll make their grand re-debut. I feel like now they're just probably reserving most of that aspect of it purely to the house show stuff.
Yeah.
And then only really bringing people on when they're ready for television.
Yeah, sure.
So in that sense, it's still a developmental promotion, but the forward-facing aspect that we see on our television isn't so much that, as opposed to the early days.
No, it is, because Shayna just went to Raw. Like, they're still... here's the idea. The idea is
I think you're
Raw
equating...
and SmackDown can still pluck whoever they want from NXT.
I understand that.
And the NXT can't pluck whoever they want. That's my point.
Well, no, there's going to be trades. That's what Triple H said.
There's not going to be trades.
Wait till after
Because in the same conversation, in the same interview, he basically dropped what the real thing was, and that's, Heyman and Pritchard are always talking about who they want to pluck from here.
There's a reality, and there's what he wants to have happen, and hopefully at some point they can meet in the middle. Whereas they'll do a wildly one-sided deal, but NXT will get something in return.
Yeah. Anyways, now it's a fun enough match. Devlin won with the Devil Inside. I love that move.
It was a great move, and the setup for
that
that was great. So Leo Rush misses a final hour. Devlin hits Leo with a huge headbutt, and as they're both falling, Jordan Devlin grabs Leo Rush's wrist, maintains
I
wrist
love
control.
that. Like throughout all of his matches, like he's always trying to get that wrist.
Yeah,
it's great.
Stands up, pulls him in. Devlin Inside for the win. Next, we had a Dakota Kai Raquel Gonzales interview. And Raquel was, she essentially asked, hey, explain yourself. And she says, well, I see Tegan getting all these opportunities while Dakota Kai is continually getting passed over. I feel that too because I've been here at the Performance Center continually getting passed over for opportunities. So I feel like I empathize with Dakota Kai, so I'm going to help her out. Mm-hmm. And Dakota Kai says, well, Raquel has my back, so I'll have hers. We're all good. In walks William Regal.
Hello there. Hello.
So good to hear you have each other's backs because it's not really going to matter in 2 weeks' time because you got a cage match against
Got a seal cage.
Tegan Knox.
I expect nothing less than a moonsault off the top. I saw young Cody do it today. It was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
It hasn't happened yet. So yeah, that's going to be cool. That's going to be a killer match. Tegan Knox will win that one.
Yeah.
Ciampa shows up at Full Sail, and then we get Kathy Kelly. But it's sort of because this actually happened at Takeover.
Yeah, they had little graphics that happened at Takeover too.
Rhea Ripley
confused yourself that it was happening on Wednesday after she already left.
Rhea Ripley had an interview. Maybe Kathy Kelly will come back because she's like, "Wait, you guys just called me the next member of Undisputed Era?
I don't want to leave now.
I'm not gonna leave now." So, anyways, yeah, she just says, I don't know. She says, "Oh yeah, Charlotte says somebody. Even a queen will have a nightmare."
Yeah, yeah.
After that,
Austin Theory is supposed to.
Patrick Sparks as Creator Wrestler comes out. His face is kind of Patrick Sparks, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
It's B-Man.
I can kind of see that.
It's
a little
B-Man, but Creator Wrestler.
bit. Yeah,
Oh, I'm making my 2K20 guy now, friendos.
yeah. I feel like Austin Theory still has his indie gear.
He does. He is so indie wrestler.
One slide says the real superstar.
Does it actually say?
Yeah. The other side says
That's amazing.
says all day.
The real superstar.
Yeah, he's got his Evolve gear
Which
still.
comes first, all day or the real superstar?
Well, it depends, I guess, how you want to put it. Is he the real superstar all day
I think so.
or all day the real superstar?
Which is more? Which is a longer length of time? Which is more impressive, all day the real superstar or the real superstar all day?
I would think the latter.
Me too.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, Captain Wonderful comes out.
Anyways, yeah.
And then while his music is still playing, this was actually pretty funny. And I'm not sure if this would translate to like a bigger venue, but while his music is still playing, Ciampa comes out just with this total like look of contemplation on his face. Like, I don't have time for my own music. Who cares about that?
Yeah.
He comes out to the ring and he gets a mic and Austin Theory starts to come up to him and without looking at him, Ciampa just says, "Not today, man."
Not today. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Yeah.
So the ref backs up Austin Theory, Patrick Sparks, who's like, "Oh, friendo, no."
B-Man wants to fight.
E-Man wants to throw hands. And so Ciampa mentioned what I'd mentioned earlier with his promo. He's not asking why, Johnny, why. He knows why. Johnny knows why.
Well, even before that, he says, like, I should have seen this coming. I had tunnel vision on getting the belt back.
Yeah.
The out of nowhere tag match. I should have seen this coming. Mm-hmm. And then, as you mentioned, he's like, I'm not asking why. I know why. Johnny knows why.
Oh, Patrick Sparks in chat says, I feel attacked. No, it's just an observation. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying ugly Austin Theory looks like Patrick Sparks. He's a good-looking guy. He just looks like Patrick Sparks as Creator Wrestler. Career mode Patrick Sparks.
Yeah. And then Theory comes in and kind of pushes Ciampa. Ciampa drops him, pushes him back.
Yeah.
And then, yes, when Ciampa says, well, in order for me to get my life back, there can't be any Gargano in NXT.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
wow.
And that's when Theory walks up to Ciampa. Ciampa boots him and then just proceeds to throw him at least, I don't know, maybe between 8 and 10 times into the barricade. Back and forth, back and forth.
He murdered this kid.
Tossed a knee in there, too.
Go back to Evolve, all day real superstar.
I know, the real superstar all day. Whatever your name is. After that, we had a quick shot of Chelsea Green doing a photo shoot. She had a rematch against Kaden Carter later on.
I mentioned this on Twitter. What do you get for signing with Robert Stone Brand? Is he paying an exposure? I feel like he's a paying with exposure
It could be
guy.
because they made a point of saying during Chelsea Green's match that he negotiated a spot in the Rumble for her.
Yeah.
Which, of course, if she had won, she could have got a title shot. So I guess kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe. So he got her into the Rumble exposure, maybe.
Yeah. What's my signing deal? Or what's my signing bonus? I'll negotiate deals
I'll
for
advocate for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what's your cut? Let's worry about that later.
Yeah, worry about that later. Just sign it, okay? Just sign it.
Finn Balor had a promo. I feel like they probably shot this weeks ago.
It did.
It's
This
the same
literally
setup. It's the same setup.
It is. He's like, yeah, it's okay. Here's the thing. You're going to win against Gargano. Week later, what do you say?
So that's what he says. He says, NXT, still my chessboard.
Yeah.
I proved that in Portland, and next week, you're going to watch my next move.
And he's like, hey, so what am I doing after this? We don't know yet.
What is this is airing in a month, so when we're shooting this, so just show up that week. It'll be
Mr.
good.
Levesque hasn't told us yet. We don't know.
But just show up the week after TakeOver. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde, I guess they're in a bit of a rivalry on 205 Live.
Right.
They mentioned that. They're partnering here to take on grizzled young veterans. At first, grizzled young veterans have a hard time handling Joaquin Wilde's speed. It gains him a bit of advantage, but they eventually overcome and isolate him for a long stretch.
Yeah, why did you not talk about Joaquin Wilde's jacket? It looked pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, he's still
Looking at that helmet, man.
he still had to hold the helmet.
He needs a chin strap on that helmet.
I know he does.
He needs a chin strap.
I think he's got a back of the head strap. Like it sort of comes like I think it's sort of does that,
yeah.
But there's still a danger of it coming up like that.
Yeah, it's obviously if you tilt
Even
your
if
head
I still
sideways, it's
feel
going
like
to fall off.
even if he had a chin strap, there's still the danger that if he hits the rope, it's going to go boot.
Well,
He needs to flip. Why doesn't he flip over the ropes? He's supposed to be like high flying guy.
Because I think it's going to fly off if he does that.
No,
Whatever strap he has in back isn't going to be secure enough to keep that from flying off. When he leapfrogs over the ropes or when he lands, I think it's going to come flying off.
Do you think if he headbangs,
Come right off.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that fickle. Interesting. Okay.
Because if he's just leading through the ropes, he has to hold it on.
Well, no, because if he hits the rope with it, it's going to go.
No, I think it's the act of bending over. It's going to fall off.
Oh, really? I thought it was more the rope is going to. Okay.
No, I think it would fall off.
I don't know, man.
That's why he needs a chin strap.
Well, regardless, he needs a chin strap.
Or put like wrestling headgear. I know it has a head strap, but it has things that go around your ears.
Okay. Yeah.
So have little things that go around the ears.
It's like lightning bolts.
No. Little straps to strap the helmet around his ears.
Okay.
So if he leans over, it won't fall off. It'll be hanging by his ears.
I still think he should jump over the ring ropes.
It'll fall off. I'm telling you.
Now, if you do it like this, like holding onto the ropes, and your head is relatively still,
But when you land, there's impact, and your head's gonna move.
I think it's more stable than that, man.
Whatever little strap he has along the base of the skull is not gonna be enough to.
We need to go to the performance center and find out.
All right, fair enough. I'm telling you, if he needs to hold it, just get through the ropes. He's gonna fall off if he jumps over the ropes. Anyways,
Grizzled Young Veterans won this match.
Yeah, they
with Ticket to Mayhem on
Mendoza, I think.
On one of the tag team
Mendoza, because Joaquin Wilde got drop kicked off the apron, so I think Mendoza took the loss. Anyways, Zach Gibson grabbed the mic afterwards, says, "U.S. America, land of the free, home of the brave, more like home of the neckbeards and land of the ignorant Yanks. We're grizzled young veterans, soon to be number one tag team around here."
Yeah,
it was pretty short.
It was pretty great. Home of the neckbeards. Anyways, after that, we had the Broserweights versus Oni, Lorcan, and Birch. But before that match, the Broserweights get in the ring. They go party with either fans or local enhancement talent. I'm not sure which one, because they were getting really chummy with them. And it's either some trusted Full Sail fans.
Yeah, it's probably the people that go out to dinner after the shows, and Matt Riddle probably knows them from showing up at
maybe.
at the brew pub every time.
Some of these dudes look kind of beefy, though. I feel like they might be on the local circuit. Maybe they're the same thing. Maybe some of the local guys show up at every show and they're trusted. I don't know.
It could be.
Anyways, they were partying with them in the crowd first, and they get in the ring, and Matt Riddle gets on the mic, and he's like, I bet you want to know where our golf cart is.
And then Pete Dunne says, well, you got it impounded.
You got it impounded, but it doesn't matter because we're NXT Tag Team Champions. Everybody hoops and hollers. And then Matt Riddle gets back on. He's like, yeah, afterwards we partied. I partied, but look at Pete Dunne. Look at his face. And, of course, they do a great close-up, and he's just stone-faced.
Yeah.
He said, he's a party machine. He says, unfortunately, the Stallion Cup isn't here because it partied too hard and it violated the wellness policy. It's suspended for 30 days.
That was a nice little.
That was a good
little joke.
Yeah.
So Lorcan and Birch come out.
Oh.
Decent technical stuff. The story I found kind of interesting in this one is that whenever Pete Dunne was matched up against Danny Burch, it's like he knew what Danny Burch was going to do.
Yeah.
It's like, 'cause I'm sure they've wrestled each other a ton.
Well, yeah.
So whenever Dunne was in the match against Burch, it was like, okay, well, Burch might get a little move in here or there. It seemed like Pete Dunne could fend him off effortlessly. It wasn't until the end when Pete Dunne had to square off with Oni Lorcan that Pete Dunne was like, oh, I don't know what to do here for a moment.
This guy's all about, yeah.
But then eventually he just he hit what he hit on.
This guy sleeps under a bench.
Yeah. Because Lorcan's come in, he hits a blockbuster, gets him in the corner, and then Pete Dunne grabs his hand, snaps his fingers. Riddle's in. And the Broserweights hit a V-trigger bitter end combo to get the win. Back to the crowd they go to celebrate some more. Undisputed Era's backstage, and Roddy's like, I need to do this myself, for myself, so stay back here, guys. I'm going to beat Dream one-on-one.
Yeah, again, kind of weird. That's like such a face thing to do. He's defending the honor of his family. Velveteen Dream has only followed Marina Shafir on Twitter, and then had a tweet saying Roderick Strong's not a real man because she didn't take his name, which is, especially in this day and age, a very heel thing to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, things are kind of backwards here. Yeah, I don't know. I just get the feeling that like Velveteen Dream's big return, it should have been at a takeover. I think that's the problem.
I think even just the framing of him coming back was weird.
Yeah, I know.
Where the lights go down, he teleports to the top of the turnbuckle, and like even just the shot selection wasn't terribly dramatic.
Like all the times that we said before, oh, who's this? You know, like at War Games, for example, who's the fourth guy gonna be, or fifth guy, whatever it is.
Who's the third man, brother?
Who's the third man, brother? So glad you just said that because it was on my mind. Anyways, like all the ways he could have returned in like dramatic fashion, it wasn't.
No.
And it's sort of it sort of underplayed how big of a deal he kind of should be.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, at this point, he really needs to be stepping up to the main title scene.
Yeah.
But I don't believe him as main title champion quite yet, you know? I feel like a more dramatic return might have accomplished that.
Well, that, and I kind of feel like I don't know if NXT knows who's going to be the dude who takes that belt off Adam Cole.
I think there's a lot they don't know, and I wonder if part of it's because Mania is coming up.
It could be. I don't know.
They might not even know if Adam Cole's going to be in. Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, like, they could have strapped the rocket to Keith Lee's back, and by Mania, have him beat Adam Cole for that title, and that whole arena the roof would have blown off that place. Now he has a North American title. That's cool, but he's definitely in that scene, and he is, you know, like when he stepped up to Undisputed Era the first time, he's like, all right, I just need to decide which one of these titles I'm going to take first.
Yeah.
First, as in, I'm getting all those from you.
Yeah, he's going to be the new draped in gold prophecy.
Yeah. And then after he won the North American title from Roddy, he came out and brought that up again.
Yeah.
And then Damian Priest came out and distracted him or something like that.
And Dijakovic came out.
Yeah, and then they've never gone back around to it.
Yeah.
Like, I understand having this takeover, having the kind of detour for that, but dude, have him come out last night. Oh, getting back to this. I said when I took this, this was the first. Mm-hmm. There's one more I can take.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know.
Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like they know who to focus things on.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have the Undisputed Era. They're like Adam Cole's basically carrying the show. I get that. He's the top guy, but you got to have a babyface chase him. Mm-hmm. And I really felt like they were setting things up for Keith Lee to be that guy.
Yeah, I know.
And they still could have, even with him being North American champion.
Because here's the thing, you can even put off him winning that big title, but keep him in that title scene and then detour him here and there.
Yeah.
But it's like you just went back to Dijakovic last night.
I know. And here's like you can keep him getting sidetracked because people keep on gunning after him because he's a champion.
Yeah.
But after he gets through that feud, all right,
focus on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you can wait a couple more takeover cycles.
Yeah.
But just keep it in the audience's mind. Oh, my ultimate goal is to take that title off.
Because I totally
Cole.
thought that as of last night we were going to have Ciampa, Gargano, Finn, and ideally Keith Lee all sort of making their case for the Adam Cole title.
And we had nobody make their case.
And nobody made a case.
Anyways, Forgotten Sons, they did a Twitter video calling out Grizzled Young Veterans and said,
When did What's-His-Face shave his head? Was that a while ago?
Cutler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
They haven't been on TV for a while, so
They have not been on TV.
So it could have been anywhere between their last match and last night.
So we did get some confirmation on what their actual backstory is. I mean, they brought up being veterans. The Grizzled Young Veterans said, they blasted, they said ignorant Yanks.
They talked a little trash.
And so they're like, oh yeah, the Grizzled Young Veterans? We're veterans. They don't know what it's like to be that. We're going to bury these guys. USA.
They said it's the land of the free because of the brave, and they want a match.
Yeah, right.
Defend the honor of America.
Yeah. So NXT's doing that now.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have rooted this more in the Revolutionary War, because you've got, obviously the British people, the American people. Let's see some wigs.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking.
How about let's
the red coats are
rather
here.
than the Revolutionary War.
Gibson's coat was red last night.
True. Rather than the Revolutionary War, I felt like that's a part of history that's been well mined. But the
War of 1812. Oh man, wow. Did that war actually just exist in the year 1812?
No, it went for a while, and it was actually technically over. I think like the ceasefire had been signed, but the Battle of New Orleans still happened because word hadn't made it to them yet.
Well, yeah, man, they didn't have cell phones back then.
Nope.
Or actual phones.
Nope. Or telegrams.
Or telegrams.
Just a dude having to ride a horse, probably
Trying
riding from Washington through the wilderness to New Orleans.
I was watching that History Channel thing on Washington.
Yeah.
And there was just a rando shot of him like trotting along on his horse going from one place to God knows where.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how is it these people didn't get lost all the
knew how to read
time?
a compass, I would expect.
I guess so, but holy crap. Twists and turns.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How do you not get like just zone out? You're like on a horse, clop, 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 clop. And then you look at your compass. Oh, crap.
Oh, crap. I'm going east rather than northeast.
How long have I been doing that for? I don't know.
Well, I guess they could have watches.
They could have watches.
Anyways, next, Keith Lee came out and dropped a promo. Nope, he's instantly interrupted by Kona Reeves. Of course, he and Kona Reeves have had issues going back, I don't know, a year and a half.
I really like Kona Reeves' theme music.
Yeah. So Kona Reeves, he's in a huff. He's mad. He goes over the corner to grab a mic. And before he can even turn around, Keith Lee pounces the hell out of him.
Oh, so W.S. Fletcher here says 1812 to 1815. That match happened between us and Britain.
There you go. Yeah, Britain won the rematch.
Yeah.
And so Keith Lee grabs the mic and says, all right, ref, now you can ring the bell. Bell rings. I think Keith Lee hits like one move, finisher, match over.
Done.
And then Dijak comes out. Hey, Keith.
So the only reason I lost last night is our 2 nights ago.
Too much Arby's hurt my back doing the Spanish fly.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not ready to move on yet.
I still want that title.
I should have beat you at TakeOver. That Spanish fly spot, that should have been it, but I hurt my back on that move, and so I couldn't pick you up for Feast Your Eyes. But really, I should have won. And Keith Lee's like, hold on, quiet.
Give me that title.
All these excuses, all these what ifs.
Give me the title.
It's all what ifs. What happened is I won.
I almost beat you.
Get over it.
Give me the title.
And he says, whenever they have a match, what does the crowd say? And of course, the crowd starts chanting, "Fight forever."
Please move on.
So Lee pretty much says, I'm always down for a challenge. So Dijakovic, if you could convince Regal for another match, I'm willing to fight forever.
Well, the good thing is we don't know where we want to go from here, so okay, we'll do it.
Or if Dijakovic goes to Regal's office and asks him for a match, Regal's like, he beat you.
How many matches do you want against this man?
Like he's beaten you twice in a row, I think. Like we have a whole...
he's bested you for...
Like there's Cameron Grimes on Twitter, like basically begging for a match against Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Like there's Damian Priest still, Killian Dane. There's a lot of contenders for that particular title. You've already lost back of the line to you.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Maybe apply for 205 Live.
And then that way it's a Regal Dijakovic feud.
That'd be awesome.
Next, Caden Carter versus Chelsea Green. Robert Stone introduces Chelsea, dubs her the face of the women's division. Pretty quickly, Carter tries to go for another roll-up.
Yeah.
Green kicks out. And Carter has the advantage for a while until she tries to move off second rope. Chelsea kicks the middle rope and I think knees her or something, then hits a bunch of other knees. Carter goes for another roll-up, and then she can't get Chelsea over because Chelsea is standing on Caden Carter's hair.
Ouch, yes. At that point, Bianca Belair comes in the ring and says, I'm happy for you both. She does the Kanye. I'm going to let you finish, but I got something to say.
That was great.
That was hilarious.
She's like, I told you didn't go here.
Yeah.
Now I want you here.
Talking about Charlotte.
Yeah, because you put your hands on me.
Yeah.
So she's like, I want a piece of you. I don't care if it's Raw, SmackDown, here, wherever. She didn't say SmackDown, Raw, NXT, wherever. I'm going to whoop that ass.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And
then she just leaves.
So when is this going to happen, man? Where is it going to happen? NXT TV.
I would suspect.
Takeover.
I mean, we were listening to Observer Radio, And they had the discussion, and it was Alvarez that said, well, the whole point is to bump up NXT's ratings.
They gotta bump up the ratings. But
So
isn't
it
like
makes
a little
sense.
bit of exposure of an NXT superstar on Raw? Isn't that potentially helping NXT
I mean,
also?
if they really want to do it, Elimination Chamber.
Because here's the thing, we already have a sample size in terms of Charlotte being on NXT, and it's not great. It didn't, that 1 week, it did not boost ratings that significantly.
But she wasn't also advertised for a match.
That's true, yeah. I mean, if they build the match to a big deal.
And we've seen Bianca. I mean, she had a dominant performance at the Rumble.
So here's the thing, this is what you do.
You have them fight in AEW.
That doesn't seem likely.
Well, and then promotions working together.
How about this?
It's good for everybody.
Put them on AEW Dark. It'll boost up Dark's numbers.
There you go.
No. You put something on the line. I mean, I don't know. They're not going to have Bianca Belair beat Charlotte. But how great would it be if they had Bianca Belair beat Charlotte?
And what was on the line is if Bianca wins, she's in the Mania match.
She's in the Mania match. Put that on NXT. If those are the stakes, and you put that on NXT TV, and then you leak out word that Bianca's going to win, then you might boost ratings. You might have a good shot of doing that. Put it in the main event.
Yeah, I don't think you could just have the match and expect that to pop ratings. You got to have the match with something on the line.
There's got to be something on the line.
Yeah.
Because then here's the thing, even if they put that on the line and they put it out there as a possibility that Bianca could win that and get into Mania, even if you there's no she can still lose and just not be in the Mania match. Mm-hmm. And people will still be like, "Oh wow. I don't know though.
Exists.
I don't know."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, the match finishes up.
Well, yeah, Belair leaves. As soon as Belair leaves, Chelsea goes for a roll-up. Caden Carter kicks out, hits super kick. Chelsea Green rolls out of the ring, starts talking to Robert Stone Brand.
Yeah.
Carter comes out, tosses Green back in the ring, and Caden Carter gets on the apron. Robert Stone trips her up, and then Green hits an unprettier for the win.
Yeah. I don't like the unprettier move.
Not huge on it either.
No.
Chelsea's finish should be a destroyer because we saw her do one of those at All In.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is everybody does destroyers and they're never finishes. It's annoying.
Yeah, they really, yeah,
They ruined the move.
backed themselves into the corner with that one.
It's a really cool move, though.
Mm-hmm. Someone should use that as a finish.
I agree. Well, I mean, somebody that isn't Petey Williams.
Yeah.
So then we had our main event, Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong. What was the outfit that Dream was wearing before he took it off? What was it? It looked like an Elvis thing.
Yeah, it was like a jumpsuit.
Yeah, it was rad.
The sleeves cut off, and it had his the 3-eye logo thing going on. Yeah, it was cool.
It looked really cool.
Powder blue and
I
white.
didn't know if it was a reference to something, but it looked great.
It was much easier simply to take off because it was flared at the pants, so he didn't have to rip them off. He just took it off, and it was all one piece, so he just took it off. It was great. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, it looked really good on him.
Yeah, and we talked about the head of the show.
He was sort of toying with Roddy to start the match, like, "Oh, I'm not going to let you get your hands on."
Well,
me.
that was after though them kind of just awkwardly and clumsily wrestling on the mat.
Yeah.
Whereas they were trying to get their hands on each other, but they just couldn't because it was. I understand they were trying to make it look like a real fight, so it was awkward and clumsy and kind of like an unorganized scrum. I don't know. I just feel like with the level of intensity they kind of painted this, especially from Roddy's side. Like I would get if Velveteen Dream came in and bell rings and Roddy's got a head of steam coming after him and Dream slips out and starts playing mind games. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Or if they both come out, hockey fight, start throwing haymakers at each other. Makes sense. But I don't know, just awkward scrum on the mat. I don't know. Just made it feel a little flat.
Yeah.
To start, I expect to both come out with fever pitch, wanting to destroy the other. And instead it was just like, okay, this is what's probably really like when people really fight.
Yeah.
Not why I watch wrestling.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, I don't know, the whole Velveteen Dream thing, I think he's a bigger deal than how they've presented him. This should have been a takeover match for Tampa, not this last one. You build to this.
They teased Dream's return like a week before he came back.
Unless the idea is they're going to have Dream versus Cole for Tampa, and this sets that up, and they've got 6 weeks to build that.
Could be.
But I feel like they're fast-tracking that way too much. Maybe Undisputed Era. Maybe they're taking these titles off Undisputed Era because they are going to go to SmackDown. Or
Maybe.
Can you imagine if they put them on Raw? How many people are on Raw right now?
Like everybody.
Yeah.
So there's, a clumsy scrum. They're both taking swings at each other, missing. Roddy rolls out of the ring. Hops back on the apron. Dream takes off the weight belt he had on. Swings it at Roddy. He misses. Ref takes it from him. And then, the cat and mouse begins. Dream leaves the ring. Roddy gives chase. Dream's back in. Roddy follows. Dream hits him with a drop kick. He has advantage for a while. There's some eye poking going on here. Go to commercial. Dream's in a headlock. He fights out of it, hits a backdrop. They're trading some strikes. Roddy's been working over Dream's back pretty hardcore. So Dream is going for a Death Valley driver. Can't. It's like an awkward collision in the corner.
Oh, sorry, not to cut you off. Somebody
look at that.
mentioned
Okay.
the raspberry beret from Prince
cool.
suit. Who mentioned that? Hold on, I want to give it. Sean here in
Thank
chat mentions that. Thanks, man.
And so Dream hits a couple backbreakers on Roddy, working over Roddy's back. Like, I felt like the elements were here for something good.
Yeah.
It just didn't quite connect.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end, it picked up and it was decent. So Dream's going up top. Roddy pushes him towards the ring post and crouches him on the top turnbuckle. They're jockeying for position up there. Strong hits a backbreaker across the top turnbuckle. Dream kicks out at 2. Strong tries to hit End of Heartache twice. Dream fights it off both times. So Strong hits the powerbomb right into Stronghold. Dream gets to the ropes. Strong goes for the running knee. Dream super kicks him instead, follows with a Death Valley driver, and then takes off the jumpsuit, and underneath he's got pants with Marina Shafir's face on his front area and on his butt.
Yeah, man.
And so he goes up top. As that is happening, Undisputed Era run out. So he jumps off the top, takes them out, goes back up to the top, jumps off. Strong hits him with a jumping knee. That gets him a 2. And then Velveteen Dream just kind of hits a Death Valley driver kind of out of nowhere to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like, it just felt like a rather underwhelming way for Roddy to take that L.
Yeah, I know.
And so Undisputed Era hopped in. They attack Velveteen Dream. They hit their finishers on her, save for Adam Cole, and that was it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I get from what I got from this episode, and this is pure speculation on my part. There's a lot of unknowns in NXT. Except for maybe, and I know you're absolutely right. Even in a lose or leaves town match, they can just write that person right back in like they did before. They did that before. I get the feeling that might be something that's definite, that Gargano or Ciampa are going to be written off to main roster. I just get that feeling. And I feel like probably Dream versus Cole for Tampa. But I just feel like there's a lot of moving parts that they have to figure out. And instead of being able to focus on NXT, they have to focus on NXT and the demands of everything else that NXT
That could be. It's not
services.
And I don't think it's just, Heyman or Pritchard wanting to pull talent from NXT. I think it's whatever crossover's going on the main roster. I'm sure they got to be concerned with whether this is Triple H's idea or not. Doing things to try to get the numbers up. I think, there probably is a lot more demands, and probably Triple H is still his thing. Probably more cooks in the kitchen in terms of people in his ear saying, "Hey, can we do this? Can we do this?" outside the sphere of NXT.
Well, I think that he probably and I don't know, like we all know, like okay, the buck stops with Vince. You got Pritchard writing basically SmackDown. You got Heyman writing Raw. Triple H overseas is basically Mr. NXT, but he's also head of creative. So he probably has a lot to say in terms of Raw and SmackDown. I'm sure and so he has to manage all this stuff as well. And that ain't going to be easy. The same way AEW wasn't easy for them to figure out how to deal with their cooks in their kitchen. And yesterday's episode just didn't click. And I wonder if you think about how great everything was clicking in the lead up to Worlds Collide. Mm-hmm. Everything was awesome because that's like all just NXT concentrated. You don't have to worry about main roster shenanigans. Nope. But you're coming up to Mania. You've got a Tampa show. You've got your Mania show. And then the potential for call-ups, which they're probably figuring out. So maybe they just can't commit to too much right now.
Until they work things on
until they figure it
picture.
out. It was kind of like Survivor Series in the lead up to that. NXT, like they had some good stuff going on, but there was also like just felt like a little bit of conflicts because you got Raw, you got SmackDown, brand warfare, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and how different shows handled their creative on.
Yeah, it all felt a bit on the inconsistent side.
Yeah, let's do some questions. Fear and Loathing. Will we see the Dusty Cup in 30 days? We shouldn't.
I don't think so.
Fear and Loathing again.
It'd be funny if you did though.
I know. Steven Larson, brand managing Dexter Loomis. Should we be the Steven Larson brand for Dexter Loomis?
Oh yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, the three of us host true crime podcast about Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Butts says, Do you think NXT needs a major shakeup of talent at the top? I feel like it's been the same rotation of the same people getting a majority of time when they have so much talent stuck in the back and in the Florida loop. I think that we're going to see that after Mania. I think once things settle down after WrestleMania, we're going to see some fresh blood at the top.
Well, I think that was one of the things that made Keith Lee's rise really exciting. Granted, he'd been around for a while before getting that huge push, but it was like, oh, here's someone the crowd's already kind of behind. They're familiar with. They're really getting behind him. He's pushing the main event scene, and it's great because he's been here a while, just kind of not doing much.
Yeah.
And then I think, at least in my hope, and I'm guessing yours too, was that push in the main event would continue, especially after Survivor Series, when like half the shows he was closing by doing something amazing and having that great moment at the end of Survivor Series was him and Roman. It seemed like all that was building to some serious momentum. War Games, all that.
And then even at the Rumble with him and Brock.
Yeah. And yeah, he's North American champion. That's cool. But it really felt like if they said, all right, this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's going to, take over for Cole after he drops the belt. And they just focus on that and you build towards it, whether it be Tampa or the takeover after that, then it could have been great. But it's kind of feel like, well, we don't want Keith Lee to be in a situation where he's in a title program with Cole and not win. We want to push that to later. So we'll just throw a bunch of other people at him, Cole, all the familiar faces that we all know.
Man, I wonder if they're looking at Keith Lee for a main for main roster.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, that's one thing Triple H also said is that, we're not looking at people just for NXT. We're looking at people in the Performance Center to fulfill their full potential, which he basically meant Raw and SmackDown. I mean, it's still Raw and SmackDown is still viewed as the end game.
A different tier than NXT, I know. Ryan Armstrong says, refresh my memory or tell me how you power rank your excitement for the new Cruiserweight title. Since they made it to the NXT one, they dropped the purple strap and such. Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks real good.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they keep this one. I like when titles just stick around. I didn't like the purple strap. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, like the idea of Devlin sort of going brand to brand to brand to brand. I don't know. He needs like a feud. He needs a feud.
Prince C. Ross, who is a past wrestler you wish you would have appreciated more when they were around? For him, it was Big Show, Mark Henry, and Tyson Kidd.
Edge.
Yeah.
Edge. I feel like I didn't really get too invested in Edge until like well after he had retired.
Yeah, no. Edge and like prime Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Aaron Gaspar, regarding the Gargano turn, I have a question for Larson. If Steve repeatedly attempted to murder you, then disappeared with an injury, how quickly would you forgive him and pretend it never happened? Well, I definitely wouldn't accept a hug from him on stage. Definitely wouldn't do that. I would be hesitant to tag with him until we could, seriously hash some things out.
Yeah, but our relationship isn't based off of competitive physical activity trying to attain a chunk of gold.
Nonetheless, you tried to murder me several times. That's the premise of this question.
Okay, well, I can't really disagree with anything you said. I mean, if it's a murder, that's a lot different than like what Ciampa and Gargano have gone through. That's just
I think that's
trying
the
to pin each other.
Is the idea that like the street fight stuff, there was some stuff that could have been on the verge of serious assault charges had it happened outside of the arena.
It was healthy competition.
Jake Montford, if they don't put Bianca in the WrestleMania match, do you think she could face Charlotte at Elimination Chamber? Wouldn't be surprised.
That'd be cool. That'd be neat. I'd be down for that.
Doc Hensla. So we have Steve Austin, Austin Theory, Austin Aries, Ace Austin as well.
Ace Austin and Impact,
right? Whether a name like Austin is synonymous with the kayfabe wrestling name.
Austin Idol.
Austin Idol, yes.
Yeah. What other name like Austin is synonymous with a kayfabe wrestling name? Where there's a lot of them.
Surprised there's not more Strongs.
That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. He stumped me with that one.
Yeah, same here.
Power Lunch.
There
was Power Lunch Jr.
Son of Power Lunch.
El
Hijo de El.
El Hijo de Power Lunch.
David Wondolowski, let me preface this by saying I love NXT, watch it religiously. Have we heard anything about how the USA feels about the ratings of NXT? I know TNT already guaranteed Dynamite more years. I want the same for NXT. Haven't heard a thing.
Have not heard a thing. Greg Morris, if the NXT tag scene is lacking, would a team of Lee and Dijak be that needed shot in the arm? I think it would have been like 4 months ago, but Lee should not be in a tag team right now.
I think right now that's why we have Matt Riddle and Peter Dune.
Unless he continued on with his I want all the gold, and I can't think of anybody better than the man who, than Dijak.
But that only really work. It seemed to be more he wanted to take that gold off Undisputed Era rather than just being tag champion. Now they don't have the titles, and it's already been established in kayfabe that Keith Lee is friends with Matt Riddle. You know?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't make sense. I know.
Pan Can't. I seem to remember you both saying that you think Dijak and Lee had more to show in terms of their feud. They're just giving you what you asked for.
Yeah. So look, here's the thing. I'm not against them having another match, but I also like stuff to move forward.
Yeah.
So like. I didn't say I wanted it now. I didn't say I want that. I want to see more of what they have now.
And I think the point was we felt like they could do more in the match.
Yeah.
Like they could probably do something absolutely insane, out of bounds, crazy, bonkers.
Yeah.
They could do that, and at some point maybe that'd be cool to see. Doesn't necessarily mean I need to see it next week.
So the sort of analogous to that would be, I feel like with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, even with their big blow up at that one pay-per-view Battleground or whatever it was, I still felt that there was a lot more they could do. That being said, I didn't want to see it like immediately, like come back around to it in a couple of years. Let's see here. What is his name? Aurelius says, do you think NXT is going to be spinning their wheels for what may happen in their roster during and after Mania weekend? Yeah, that's kind of what I said. So, yeah, I think so.
A little bit. Lizard Man, if Cole, Gargano, and Balor were hanging off a cliff for life and death, who is Triple H saving?
Well, it'd come down between Cole and Balor.
Yep.
And I get the feeling it's probably Cole.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Cole.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's Adam Cole, baby. Professor Dr. Bird, hypothetically speaking, if there were a women's Dusty Tag Classic, what teams of women's singles wrestlers paired together could strike fire as a team in the way same way as the Broserweights? That's a good question.
I know she's like a bad guy, but Candice LeRae and Io Shirai.
Yeah, it's tough to say that.
That's the team that I'd want to see.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Raspberry Beret. Any more questions over there?
Oh, there's plenty more.
All right, cool.
Glorious Broken Soundwave. So who leaves NXT, Gargano or Ciampa? I'm pessimistic that either of them are going anywhere.
Well, you have to answer the question. If one left, what's more likely? I would say Gargano.
Yeah, it's Gargano. 100%
It's Gargano. Let's see here.
Thomas Dunnigan. Would Hell in a Cell be the perfect gimmick match for Ciampa Gargano at TakeOver Tampa? I quit. Make it an I quit match.
Chamber of Horrors match.
I quit. Someone had lyrics say
they have to I quit NXT though.
Yes.
They have to say I quit NXT.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be I quit.
NXT.
I quit NXT.
Let's see here. The Glorious Broken Soundwave. My question for today is, do you think Cody Rhodes and Jericho can bring their music from AEW over to WWE to use? Or would they use their old gimmick? So if Jericho came back to WWE, Jericho's all about reinvention. So he would bring Judas to WWE. Or a new song from...
Well, there's two things. Creatively, what would he do? And legally, what could he do? Jericho, it's his band song, so he can license it to WWE, use his theme song just as he did with AEW.
His publisher can,
yeah. Legally, he could totally do that.
Cody was using his song prior to AEW.
Yeah, I'm sure he owns that song.
Yeah.
Or owns the rights to that song, so he could do the same thing. That being said, if Jericho comes to WWE, he's using Break the Walls Down. He has the entirety of his career.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a really good theme song still.
It is a really good theme song.
For Cody, I doubt he's going to go back to
but Jericho,
Stardust theme.
I don't know.
All the various phases of Jericho WWE, they all use Break the Wall Down.
I don't know. So here's the thing. And apparently, Sheamus said that they wouldn't let him use Lobster Head because it's too old and people wouldn't remember
Well,
it.
that's ridiculous.
Which is stupid. That's so dumb. The problem is Lobster Head is a babyface song.
Well, it's also not as iconic as Break the Walls Down. Break the Walls Down is probably one
of that, but it's more iconic than his Mill and About song.
Yeah, but the Mill and About song is more recent, so that's probably why.
No, but my point with that was, I don't think Jericho. I don't think they'd let him. They would say, look, Judas is great and everything, but like Vince runs the show and Vince wants break the walls.
Oh yeah, totally. Vince would say break the walls.
That'd be the
or
bottom line.
GTFO. Yeah.
As far as Cody, I don't know. What did Cody come out with before? Wasn't it like the same band?
Oh, in WWE? No, he had like a different. He had like a Stardust theme. That was kind of Gold Dust-esque, I think, but more sci-fi sounding.
When he was dashing Cody Rhodes, what did he use?
Oh, I don't remember. That was a while ago.
I thought that the band that Cody used was the same band that did
I don't know.
XYZ something. Thought it was a Cody thing.
Whoop.
Whoop. Let's see.
Chris Rampersad, guys, I would seriously cry if Undisputed Era left NXT because I don't trust Vince. Look at what they're doing to Aleister Black.
Could you imagine Christopher, his Matt Chat question, if Undisputed Era went to SmackDown?
He would be in the wood.
He'd be so high.
Can they trade Aleister Black for Shayna, please? He wants Aleister to come back to NXT.
He's already done everything.
I don't think he's of all the NXT call-ups, I don't think he suffered the worst by being moved from NXT to main roster.
Yeah,
And
I know.
there's examples of people faring far worse than he did.
No, I agree. He was one of the names scheduled to win the Rumble, which is still weird to me.
He hasn't lost on main roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to bring back Drew McIntyre's old theme too. See, that's one that I forgot about, but then like I heard it and I was like, "Holy crap, that's great!"
I didn't when he was the heel. This current one I thought worked fine because it's fairly menacing.
Oh, they need to go back to the one he had in NXT. I know, I agree. All right. Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's see here, patrons. We got a double shot today because the latest episode of We Book Friendo Unified Championship Wrestling is up. We got a killer match inside Rawgate Mutant, Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose.
Return match, yes.
And we just found out that there's a tournament happening
round-robin
inside Rawgate Mutant.
Apparently it's like a G1 type situation. Inside Rawgate Mutant, winner gets their freedom, gets unabsorbed.
Wow. Gets expelled
Yeah.
from Rawgate Mutant.
Expunged.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And so that's happening. And then also, I was thinking instead of We Book or Who Won Wednesday, we could start Who Won Wrestling, where we go back to last Friday, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, AEW.
Pretty easy this week.
And say who won wrestling. Well, don't spoil it because you got to pay for that.
All right.
For our expert answer on that one.
WEA.
Okay, well, we're not going to do that now. We're not going to do it. No, you just spoiled it. We're not going to do it.
No,
it's just going to be us sitting
it's
here
a teaser.
bullshitting
It's
then.
a teaser because
that was literally the answer.
No, it was a teaser because then I could explain why than you and giving your answer. So
I don't care why. I care about your dumb answer.
Teaser.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Patrons, stick around. YouTube channel members, stick around. We'll be back in a bit. Thanks for watching the next time. Talk to you later.
Goodbye.